Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Brothers, here we are again. We got Jake back at it again. As the scripture says, how the gold has become dim. Jake perpetually makes an ass out of himself, and he truly brings scripture to life. Let's jump right into the lesson here. First precept I want to bring out is Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 6. And it states, folly is set in great dignity. That means folly is in a high place. If we look at the entire house of Israel, most of our people are immersed in foolishness and folliness and fucking around and fuckery, man. And the rich sit in a low place, meaning we were supposed to be above every nation. We were supposed to be the rulers of the earth. We sit in a low place, right? Yeah, even now that we come back in this knowledge and this truth, we're rich now. But guess what? Many of us are broke, a paycheck away from being evicted. We got various situations going on. That's what the scriptures mean by the rich sit in a low place. But the point here is all over the globe, especially Babylon the Great, you see that folly is set in great dignity. It's like people get a kick or aroused out of being complete and utter fools. Let's go from there, right? Let's go to Proverbs 26 and verse 18. And it reads, just as damaging, as a madman shooting a deadly weapon is someone who lies to a friend and says, I was only joking, right? The English Standard Version says, is a man who deceives his neighbors and says, I was only joking. That means the things you do, fooling around, fucking around with your neighbors, your friends, your beloved brothers, can get your ass killed. We're going to see a prime example of that here. Let's jump right into the video. And again, as you can see, man, the Apostle Paul told us, is it not a sin for a man to have long hair like a woman? These in Corinthians, and also in Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5, it tells you, it gets straight to the point. A woman, pardon me, brothers, let me scroll down and get the verse here because I'm reading it off of my iPad. A woman must not wear men's clothing, and a man must not wear women's clothing or things that pertaineth unto a woman. Why? Because whoever does this, it is detestable to the Lord our God, Yahweh our power. But anyway, let's get back to the video.
What the fuck are you doing? Trick or treat!
Sorry guys. We're not trick or treating right now.
It's not Halloween.
It's not Halloween?
What's today's date?
You see that folly? These jackasses know it's not Halloween, and they turn around and ask the man what today's date. If you saw it, he didn't want to deal with their bullshit, and rightfully so. But watch what happens here.
What's today's date?
See, look at him. See, look at him. See?
No candy?
See? Look at Jake. Folly.
Damn. Oh, no, we're going to the car.
Go to the car right now.
Going to the car. I promise
See?
you, sir.
Jake wised up, didn't he?
Have a blessed day. Just because I'm black? Like I thought it was like a whole woman.
See, and that's exactly what these Jakes get here. They're screwing around, Everything is a damn joke unto them. Now watch how these second set of neighbors or individuals respond, right? And this is only encouraging this folly here. Let's get right into it.
At all. Am I dressing, bro? Trick or treat. Trick or treat.
Oh, wait, for real. Can we give y'all candy for real?
Yes.
Here, this is great.
Hey, thank
Oh
you.
my shit, y'all are great. This is great. Can I take
What's up? Oh, can we go? It's in the sun. Thank goodness.
Did y'all like just get here? Like come out?
Yeah.
Y'all just started coming out here?
Yeah. Trick or treat.
Trick or treat.
I love you guys' decorations. Actually, this scared me right here. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was gonna turn his head at me.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna like turn.
You know what's ironic? You know what's ironic here is that even though this Jake here with the long hair and the damn dress on pointed out a skeleton, this is what the scripture means by these dry bones. And that's what exactly what these Jakes saw. When Ezekiel talk about the dry bones, right? When Revelations talks about their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of Babylon, right? Because these Jakes here, they are spiritually dead. They are the Israelites that are the dry bones that are taking on the customs and the ways of the other nations, celebrating Halloween. Don't you know that's devil worship? You got long hair, you wearing a damn dress, and you're effeminate. That shit is a nightmare, okay? Like the scripture says in Isaiah, we have become like the nations you have not ruled over. Let me get these last couple of precepts, brothers, and close up this lesson here. Ephesians chapter 4, pardon me, brothers. Ephesians, slip of the tongue. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 4. Nor shall there be obscenity, foolish talk, or coarse joking, which are out of place, but rather thanksgiving. And that's exactly what these Jakes were doing here, right? It's an obscenity to behave this way. You see, they were talking about the dresses that they had on. That's foolish talk, and the joking that they're doing is out of place. It's out of order. Let's go out from there, and let's go directly to Ecclesiastes chapter 22, verse 11. And it reads, weep for the dead, for he hath lost the light. And weep for the fool, for he wanteth understanding. Maketh little weeping for the dead. But here's the point I want to make. For he is at rest, but the life of a fool is worse than what? Death. It's worse than death to be. Let me come back to the video I was trying to get. It's worse than death to behave this way, man. You're better off dead than behaving this damn way. This shit is an embarrassment. Let me go to Sirach, chapter 22. Let me come down to verse 13. It reads, talk not much with a fool, and go not to him that hath no understanding. I mean, don't hang around stupid asses. Let's go forward from there. Beware of him, lest thou have trouble, and thou shalt never be defiled with his fooleries. Are these young cats behaving? Fooleries, definition of it, prime example of it. What does the scripture say? That's why this seemingly this Edomite, he had no dealing with that shit. He could discern right away. He wants no part of that shit. He wants their asses out of there. Depart from him. The guy wanted him off their property, off his lawn. And thou shalt find rest, and never be disquieted with madness. Verse 14. Which I love, and I laughed at it the first time I read it, but the scriptures are never wrong. What is heavier than lead, and what is the name thereof but a fool? Sand and salt and a mass of iron is easier to bear than a man without understanding. Meaning, I'd rather carry sand, salt, and a mass of iron. It's easier to carry than to lift, than to deal with a stupid ass. And what you saw here, these Jakes here, this is a prime example, man. You know, those Jakes could have got murdered. Those Jakes are a prime example of foolishness and walking dry bones. They are living, but they are dead at the same time. Shalom.